Hi, I'm Beaulieu, Chief Economist of ITR Economics, and I'm going to play a role in our virtual summit coming up on March 20th. My part is going to be dealing with the global aspects of the 2030s depression that we are forecasting at ITR Economics. They're also going to be talking about supply chains, the tariffs, all of which, by the way, feed into the 2030s. We sometimes are asked, is there anything that can be done that would preclude us having to go through the 2030s depression? And the answer is yes, but we're not doing any of them. In fact, we're doing things that will likely exacerbate that downturn. For instance, nationalism is only going to make the situation worse. What we're going to be doing in my session is we're going to look at which regions, which countries specifically are likely to take it more painful downturn than others, which ones are likely going to be slower to recover. It's going to matter in terms of liquidity, global liquidity, but it's also going to matter in terms of political stress. Stress changes environments, stress changes relationships, stress changes our businesses. And while we're in this nationalism mode where it's America first and other countries are saying it's them first, we still live in an international community. And you're going to want to know where the hot spots are going to be, where the danger spots are going to be, and where it's going to be relatively smooth sailing. And some of those smooth sailing segments are relatively small markets, and you're going to want to start penetrating those markets now. I think that's the key. You're going to want to lighten up where it's going to get very painful. You're going to want to make sure that your supply chains are where there's some resiliency. And you're going to want to know who you can count on the other side of all this prosperity of this decade, who you can count on to still be a business partner going through the 2030s. On the other side of all this, from the stresses that I just referenced, I expect we're going to see this chasm between the East and the West. People already are talking about the BRIC economies and their currency taking over the US dollar. That's not going to happen, but there is going to be a battle on technology. There's going to be a battle for the hearts and minds and souls of the planet, and it's going to be East versus West. And as we fracture the West, it strengthens the East. And that's something else that we have to watch for, because when you put in a depression on top of all that, the fracture points become very large, very obvious. And you and I are going to have to navigate those as we manage our businesses, as we drive forward seeking prosperity. We maintain there's always a way to make money. You just have to know which way the trends are going. And these trends are going to shift fast, and they're going to be furious, and we have to be ahead of them if we're going to be guiding our businesses to prosperity, even during the tumultuous times of the 2030s. So come join me on March 20th in our virtual summit. I'll be in Studio A, and we'll have a Q&A session afterwards. I'll take all the questions that you have. I'm going to try and answer as much as I can, though, before you even have to ask a question. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you March 20th at our virtual summit.